And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon as we do our first update well into the afternoon here at the Rolex 24 at Daytona for 2011. We are on the home stretch. We have 21 and a half hours down. We got 2.5 hours left in this race, and as we've been saying all along, still a lot of time. Anything can happen here. This is about as long as most normal races would run in their entirety remaining on the clock. So,
and as of right now, with plenty of stuff can happen. You know, and with 2.5 hours left to go, right now your leaderboard looks like Scott Dixon in first with the 02 Chip Ganassi car. We've got Christian Fittipaldi in a number 9 Action Express racing car, only 0.3 of a second behind him. Mark Blundell only 0.215 seconds behind Action Express and United Autosports. Joey Hand in 4th place with Chip Ganassi, and 5th place is Nicholas Minassian with Crone Racing. Have lack of sleep. Sorry, guys. Joey Hand unfortunately went a lap down because he was in 1st place, but he actually had to make a little pit stop and actually had to wait 30 seconds because he hit a tire on the way out. So unfortunately, he got penalized for that. In GT class, a lot of things developing with different TRG teams, unfortunately. But in GT, your leaderboard looks like Spencer Pumpley from TRG, Tim Sugden with Paul Miller Racing, Dominic Farnbacher in TRG for 3rd place, and then you've got Charles Espenlaub with Dempsey Racing, and then Richard Lates with Magnus Racing rounding out the top 5. So we have some interesting things. Speed Source Mazda is now up to 7th place with John Edwards in the car currently, and not the politician, ladies and gentlemen. And Brumos Race is up to 6th place with Mark Lieb. So, Brumos Racing was in the 10th, 9th, and then 7th, places, and now they're moving up to 6th. So, just goes to show they've had some issues, but they're still in it. Everybody's still in it. It's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of moving
Patrick
on
Pillay
up,
from
go ahead.
said as well. Oh, I was just saying an issue with Patrick Pillay with TRG Black Swan. A little suspension issue out the back. It looked like for a little while there.
Yeah.
They have dropped down 3 laps behind most of their competition.
Yeah, and speaking of moving on up, just update again, Turner Motorsport, the comeback kids here in this race, up to 17th place in the GT, up from 26th, where they came back in around 2 o'clock this morning after they got their rebuild finished on the transaxle. So they're making progress and really representing well and trying to get some points for the championship overall. Also want to make some notes about that number 70 car, I believe the Speed Source Mazda. Not sure exactly what happened to cause this, but their whole right side is torn up to the point that the cabin on that car from about right behind the door all the way to the where the trunk would be totally wide open. No body panels there whatsoever.
Beautiful sunroof on the side of the car.
Yeah, they've got great ventilation in that car for the driver, but huge gaping hole in the bodywork there, and they actually were putting down tape across the hood and the fender panels to hold them together. And that car has just been shedding parts like a snake shedding skin. It's just they actually had a caution come out. There was debris on the track, and best guess from the look at it, it was a piece of the number 70 car that had decided to retire itself from service.
That's the reason why they are so fast. They've lost about 12 or 14 pounds.
Yeah, they got a good weight cutting strategy there. Just lose parts on the track, and I'll tell you what though, those cautions are helping TRG because, as we mentioned a couple hours ago, TRG clutchless in one of their cars. They've just wiped out the clutch in that car, and they've been doing clutchless shifts, which is having negative effects on the gearbox, and you're really starting to see and hear some problems with that car as they drive along. So these cautions are good because they're giving them a little bit more longevity, let the hardware just last a little bit longer. It's anyone's guess as to whether or not that car will make it to the end of the race, but as timing, our Wise Racing chat room member has been pointing out, you start getting these gears colliding with each other when they make those clutchless shifts, and start getting chips in the gear teeth, and eventually you just wear that thing down to smooth gears, and you can't move. So we'll see what happens. They might just grind to a halt, and if they do at this point in the race, there you can pretty much write them out because it would be at least an hour and a half timing saying to change out one of those gearboxes if they move quickly. So there really would be no opportunity for them to get back in the race in any sort of meaningful way, so they'd probably be finished. If that gearbox blows up before the end of the race, you can pretty much assume that they're going to be out.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much everything we have for this update. Be sure to join us in an hour for the 2 p.m. update, and then we'll be back for the final laps of the race and the end of the race and final thoughts as the race ends and highlights, etc. Hopefully talking with some more people about the Monday morning quarterbacking of this race after everything is said and done. And that coverage will start at 2:30 and run through the end of the race. But we'll see you back here in 1 hour for the 2 p.m. update with standings and other highlights. And it's really getting exciting out there, really down to the wire. These teams are just giving it all they got, and at the same time trying to make these cars last with the mechanical problems that you're starting to see on here. So we will keep you posted, and we will see you back here in just 1 hour. I'm Christian Conover for Wheelspin, joined by Josh Lewis. We'll talk to you soon.